Welcome back to our channel.
Have you ever had a meal that turned into a tummy turmoil? Yep, we've all been there, when something we ate made us wish we hadn't. But why does this happen? Why do some foods seem to throw a party in our mouths, only to turn into party poopers in our bellies?
Today we will navigate the confusing world of food intolerances.
We'll discover the usual suspects, learn how to spot the signs, and dive into ways to keep your gut happy without missing out on the flavors you love.
Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up. And remember, knowledge is your best ingredient for a happy tummy.
If you're excited to learn more, hit that like button, give us a subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon so you'll never miss out on our weekly tips and tricks.
Your support means a whole lot to us.
When it comes to our bodies, sometimes the food we love doesn't love us back. Have you ever eaten something and then felt like your stomach wasn't too happy about it?
Maybe you felt bloated, gassy, or had to run to the bathroom. If that sounds familiar, you might be experiencing what's known as food intolerance. Food intolerance is like your body saying, "No thanks, I can't handle this," to certain foods.
It's different from a food allergy, which is more serious and can cause severe reactions. Think of it like this. If eating something makes you feel unwell and uncomfortable but isn't life-threatening, it's likely an intolerance.
A lot of people have food intolerances, so if you do too, you're not alone.
It's like being part of a club, but it's not the most fun club to be in, right?
So what causes food intolerance? Well, sometimes our bodies don't have the right tools to break down certain parts of foods.
For example, some people lack the scissors, that's enzymes, to cut up the lactose found in milk. This can lead to feeling poorly after a milkshake or cheesy pizza. Now you might be thinking, what's the big deal with food intolerance, and why should I care? Well, even though it might not be as severe as food allergies, understanding and managing intolerances is key to feeling good every day.
It's all about making sure what we eat doesn't turn into a food feud with our tummies.
And when we pay attention to what doesn't sit well with us, we can make better choices, like picking alternative snacks and meals that make us feel great.
In the end, knowing about food intolerance is like having a secret code to your body's happiness.
And once you have the code, you can unlock a world of feeling good after every meal. Have you ever wondered why after munching on a bowl of ice cream or a piece of bread, you don't feel so great?
You might think, it's just a tummy ache, it'll pass.
But those aches might be your body's way of saying it has a tough time with certain foods.
This is what experts call food intolerance. Let's break it down with some simple words and ideas. Picture your body as a factory where food is the raw material. Sometimes, the factory runs out of a special worker. This worker is actually an enzyme your body uses to break down food. Without this worker, the factory can't handle the raw materials properly. That's why, if you're missing the worker that breaks down milk sugar, called lactose, you might get an upset stomach after a milkshake. Another cause for this food fuss is certain food parts that act like factory troublemakers. These could be things like food coloring or preservatives, stuff that's added to make food look pretty or last long on the shelf. They can give your body a hard time, leading to those not-so-fun feelings after eating. Sometimes, the troublemakers are natural.
They come from the food itself, like caffeine in your soda or chocolate, which can make some people feel jittery or get headaches. Occasionally, the problem isn't about the food at all, but how we think about it. If you get nervous or worried thinking about eating a food that once made you feel sick, you might feel bad even before you eat it.
Understanding why our body reacts the way it does to some foods helps us figure out how to stay happy and healthy. It isn't about the food being bad, but about our bodies saying, this is hard for me to deal with.
So, if you eat something and your belly starts doing the twist, or you feel all around yucky, it could be food intolerance.
Knowing the why can help you avoid those food troublemakers and find friendlier options that keep you smiling and feeling good after meals. Isn't that a happier ending to your eating story? Food is like a fun party for your taste buds, but sometimes, for your belly, not so much. That's when food intolerance crashes the party.
There are some foods that are more likely to cause trouble than others. Let's call them the usual suspects.
1. Milk products. Imagine a glass of milk being a VIP guest that your stomach doesn't want at the party.
This is because some people's tummies don't have enough of a helper, an enzyme called lactase, to digest the milk sugar, called lactose. This can lead to a rumble in the jungle, if you know what we mean.
2.
Bread and pasta. For some folks, gluten, which is found in wheat, barley, and rye, can be as welcome as someone double-dipping at the chip bowl.
Gluten can make certain people's bellies bloated and uncomfortable.
They don't have celiac disease. That's a different, more serious condition, but their bodies just say, nope, to gluten.
3. Beans and some veggies.
Some foods are like that guest who brings too many friends to the party. These foods have lots of different sugars and fibers that can cause a traffic jam in your belly, leading to gas and bloating. They're called FODMAPs, which is a big word for a group of carbs that can cause a commotion in sensitive stomachs.
4. Yummy additives. Food colors and flavors are like confetti, fun but messy.
Some people find that stuff like sulfites in dried fruits or MSG in certain snacks makes them feel like the morning after the party. Headache and just blah.
Knowing the usual suspects of food intolerance is like having a guest list for your belly.
If you know who's likely to make your stomach start the wave, you can tell them, sorry, you're not on the list, and choose something else to eat. That way, you keep the party in your mouth fun and the one in your stomach peaceful.
Let's talk about the signs your body gives when it's not too happy with what you ate. It's like your body is sending you little texts.
Hey, that food?
Not our friend. These are the clues that you might have food intolerance. 1. The belly bloat. Have you ever felt like you swallowed a balloon after eating? Your stomach gets all puffed up and uncomfortable.
That's bloating.
It's like when a party is too crowded, and no one can dance. If your tummy feels like a balloon ready for takeoff, certain foods might be to blame. 2.
Gassy greetings. When foods don't get along with your belly, they can create gas. Burps and toots are your body's way of letting some of that pressure out. It might be embarrassing, like laughing when it's super quiet, but it's actually pretty normal.
3.
The bathroom dash. Ever eaten something and then needed to scoot to the bathroom like your pants were on fire? Yep, that's diarrhea. It's your body's emergency plan to get rid of food it doesn't like, pronto.
4. The grumpy migraine.
Sometimes foods can make your head feel like it's in a vice.
This throbbing headache is your body's way of saying, please, no more. 5.
The itchy scratchies. Foods that bug your belly can sometimes make your skin throw a tantrum, too, with rashes or hives that itch like crazy.
It's like your skin is joining in the protest.
6. The stuffy nose or wheezy chest. This is less common, but some folks might feel their chest get tight or their nose go all stuffy after eating an offending food. It's like your body is putting up, do not enter, signs for your airways. Remember, these signs are your body's ways of dropping hints that it doesn't like some of the foods you're giving it.
It's not trying to ruin the fun. It just wants you to feel good.
By listening to these little messages, you can choose eats and treats that make both your taste buds and your tummy happy.
That way, you keep the good vibes going, inside and out.
So you think some foods are giving you a hard time, and you want to find out who the culprits are? It's like being a detective, but instead of solving a mystery, you're figuring out which foods make your belly unhappy.
Here's how you can solve the case of the upset tummy. 1. The elimination game. Think of this as hide and seek with food. You take certain foods away for a while and see if you feel better. No more belly dramas? Then bring back the foods one by one to see which one makes you feel yucky again. Aha! You found your suspect. 2. Keep a food diary. You can be like a spy taking notes. Write down everything you eat and how you feel after. Do this every day, and you might start to see patterns, like, every time I eat cheese, I feel like a whoopee cushion. That's a clue. 3.
Breath tests now. This is a bit like science class. Doctors can give you a special breath test. You drink a suspicious liquid, and if you're intolerant to it, your breath will tell the tale. It measures the gas that you breathe out after drinking the liquid, and if there's lots of a certain gas, it means something's up with that food.
4.
Going to the doc sometimes, you need the teacher to help with your homework, right?
It's the same with food intolerance. If you can't figure it out alone, doctors can do tests to check on food-related issues.
They might look at your blood or other things to get to the bottom of the belly rumbles. It's important to play this food detective game because eating stuff that doesn't get along with your belly can make you feel pretty rotten. By finding out which foods are your friends and which ones are frenemies, you can choose to munch on things that don't start a food fight in your tummy.
And when your tummy's happy, you are too. It's a win-win.
When you find out certain foods make your stomach go on a roller coaster, it's time to wave the white flag and make some peace.
Here's how you can keep your belly happy even when it's picky about food. 1. Menu makeover. Just like choosing a new outfit, sometimes your meals need a makeover. Swap the foods that upset your stomach with ones that don't. No more milk? Try almond or soy milk.
Bread makes you balloon up?
Go for gluten-free versions.
It's like finding the right shoes that don't pinch your feet, but for your tummy.
2.
Enzyme helpers. If your body's little food factories are out of workers, enzymes, you can bring in some helpers.
For example, if ice cream makes you feel bloated, taking lactase before a scoop might help. It's like hiring a temporary helper for a busy day. 3. Nutrient nudging. Okay, so if you stop eating some foods, you need to make sure you're still getting all the good stuff your body needs.
No bread?
You can get your B vitamins from other things like seeds and nuts.
This is making sure your body gets the whole team of nutrients to keep it strong.
4. Lifestyle shuffle. Sometimes, you've got to change up your routine. If you eat something and it feels like a team of tiny ninjas is kicking your insides, maybe eat less of it. Or say goodbye and find a new favorite. Also, eating slower and chewing well can give your tummy a break. 5.
Getting used to it. Sometimes, in a few cases, you might be able to train your belly to accept small amounts of the food it doesn't like, bit by bit. But this is a slow dance and you've got to take it step by step, possibly with a doctor's DJing. Managing food intolerances is a bit like being a magician. You've got to know the tricks to keep the show going smoothly. When you've got your bag of tricks down, you can keep your belly so calm and happy that it forgets it's supposed to be mad at those foods.
And that's a pretty neat trick to pull off. We hope you learned some valuable information with us. Until then, stay healthy.